The huge discharge affected other parts of Europe for many years, including England, where our hero, Dr. Edward Jenner, comes in. Jenner had always been fascinated by the rural old wives' tale that milkmaids could not get smallpox. He believed that there was a connection between the fact that milkmaids only got a weak version of smallpox, the non-life-threatening cowpox, but did not get smallpox itself. A milkmaid who had caught cowpox got blisters on her hands, and Jenner concluded that it must be the pus in the blisters that somehow protected the milkmaids. Jenner decided to try out his new theory. Rather than experiment on himself, he found a young boy named James Phipps to be his guinea pig. He took some pus from what he thought were cowpox blisters found on the hands of a milkmaid named Sarah Nelms. She had milked a pox-ridden cow named Blossom and had developed the telltale blisters. Jenner injected her pus into James. He repeated the process over 9 days, gradually increasing the amount of pus he put into the boy. He then injected James with pus from Blossom the cow. James became ill, unsurprisingly, but after a few days made a full recovery with no side effects. Jenner thought he had made a brilliant discovery. But had he? For starters, it was the century of famine, and there was certainly one going on at that time. What do you think most milkmaids were living on for their sustenance? Mother's milk, especially from cows, is loaded in potassium chloride and potassium phosphate, and even the perfect amount of sulfur to be converted into potassium sulfate. Even if the mother is deficient herself, nature will allocate the nutrients to her milk to ensure the survival of her children and her species. Famine-starving milkmaids living off potassium-rich cow milk all day would obviously therefore not express smallpox from potassium deficiency. Some of the milkmaids did, however, express pox on their hands and palms. This is what is now known as shedding. The skin is a porous organ, and if you are touching poisonous, toxin-ridden blisters on cow teat all day, you are absolutely going to absorb those same poisons into your hands. It is the same reason inoculation was performed, and the same reason you are told to wash your hands after wiping your ass or handling poisonous chemicals or rotten food. Jenner was no doubt a brilliant country doctor for his time, but he was no Columbo and definitely not a scientist, just like our friend Kill Bill. Jenner had no scientific control group or gold standard, and he miserably failed all of Koch's postulates, failing to notice that not all milkmaids exposed to cowpox were immune, or that it was their hands and not bodies that had pox, and that many of the farmers and families exposed to the same cows every day for feed and other reasons still had the pox themselves. And this is the scientific basis for the reason you're locked in your house and social distancing.